Alright. Okay, welcome to the start of a new anime review series. This is By the Grace of the Gods. Anime review, episode number 1. We're reviewing the first 2 episodes of this series. Yep. Yeah, this one is kind of interesting to say the least. Well, let's start with the flashback first, because that kind of leads into... Excuse me, we have this guy who's named Ryoga, who is apparently 39 years old, doing all the stuff by himself. His boss is basically throwing papers at him over this something he's worked on. There's a coworker of his he's chatting with, and then he apparently goes to bed, and then wakes up in front of 3 gods. Yes, they explained that the reason why this is because he sneezed multiple times, his head moved, and then the 4th time he sneezed, he fell on the floor, hit his head, and died. You're like, what? Yeah, this is just really, really weird. The fact that it just happened to be that way. And we have the God of Earth, the God of Healing and Love. And they do have one air god here. Because they have like 3 gods. The woman basically now. I should point out though that, well, Ryoma basically when here is a big guy, he's swept by Chris Roger. Yes. Our deities, the one who's the goddess of creation, that's R. Bruce Elliott. Yep. The god of life is Karen Strange. And the goddess of healing love is voiced by Marissa Lenti. Yeah, I'm not overly familiar with this particular voice actress. I mean, my first is like, really? Who the heck is this person? I honestly don't have any idea. Yeah. Okay, she's been in a few series I've been in. She's Kohaku, as in the Talking Tiger from the My Smartphone. She was in Fairy Tail, One Piece. Okay. Dragon Ball Super is Kurete. How Not the Somebody is Celeste Bauer. Interesting. Cautious Hero is Aria. To Love Ru is a couple different characters named Maron and Makito. Super X Heroes. The main Attack on Titan show. Oh, and she's also been in the spin-off of Konosuba, the spin-off prequel, Explosions Wonderful Aru. Yes. Yeah, where they basically have a new life, and, well, he gets all the Jacketry powers, and then gets reincarnated as an 8-year-old boy, who's voiced by Emily Knives. Which, of course, this actually is her, well, for me anyways. Now, I don't have anything for Chris Roger, but for Emily Knives, this actually is the 10th series I've heard of. Yeah, 10th. The last one is So I'm Taming Final... I'm the villainess, so I'm Taming Final Boss. Yeah, that was by far the last series I did, which was a while ago. The last new one I've seen with her in it, which is interesting to say the least. Yep. And then he forms contact with a bunch of slimes and builds himself a house with drawings, which apparently he drew. Apparently, he stayed in this house for 3 years by himself, which apparently later on, it's actually inside of a cave. Yes, inside of a cave, where he apparently has been studying these slimes, training them. He's like 100 slimes. Now, not the first series I come across where we have this many slimes and the main character be Beast Tier 4, because of course they all did this in My Isekai Life. Except that guy didn't express much emotion. In the case of Ryoga, which apparently he's letting use his actual name. He doesn't have a new name per se, which is a bit unusual. Normally these reincarnated series just have the character get a brand new name, which is interesting to say the least. Yes. Yeah, get a new name, and, well, this time he's going to keep his name, which is a bit unusual. You usually get that for people who are isekai, not reincarnation people. And Then you see him where he's like saved a group of men who saved one guy from dying, of course, and they healed him up. Of course, taking his place too. And of course, turns out basically the person he saved was a local duke. Yes, he saved one of his healing potions. Yes, and his name is Reinhard Gemmel, who's voiced by Anthony Boland. Yep. And as for his men, well, one of his men with silver hair is voiced by Rico Fajaro. Yep. And now the 41st series I come across him in. Yeah, 41st. There's also Hugh, who's voiced by Jeremy Inman. Zeph, Jared Green, Aaron C.G. Currit. Yeah. So then the next episode, we introduce the rest of the family, which includes basically his wife, voiced by Caitlin Glass. Which, for me anyways, this is now the... Let's see if I come across it here. This section 28th series. I've come across her in it. Yep, 28th. And of course, basically just her daughter, whose name is Aria, who's voiced by Susie Young. Which, of course, some people basically recognize the name as the voice of Mokama from Chainsaw Man. Yep, Chainsaw Man. And of course, she's wants to be a base tamer to get her slime. They also have their slimes. And then, of course, they take him basically over to, like, this city. Though there's a rock slide, teach them magic to move it with the slimes, of course. And then, of course, basically, well, then he teaches them how to make turn his landslide to stones while riding in the carriage. At one point, when they stop, basically, Emil just fell right into basically Ryoga's lap and just catches her. Also, basically, her mom, Elsie, yeah, she's basically doting on him. Like, she's basically her own son. Where she's, like, blushing every time she sees him. No, she's not in love with him because basically she loves her husband. I think that she really wants to be part of the family. So, then, of course, they arrive in the city, and that's pretty much 2 episodes in a nutshell. Really good 2 episodes, and we're like 10 more to go. But before I continue with the actual episodes, I gotta watch Can for Cooking Another World. Yep. But these episodes were a lot of fun. Yep, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications. I will see you all after my video. After watching I'll see you next time with Can for Cooking Another World, okay? Bye.